Welcome to class. This is a 15-minute yoga flow designed to help loose muscles for people who maybe went to the gym yesterday or for people who are working really hard and maybe need to loosen up their muscles a little bit. We are going to begin in our child's pose. So take your tippy toes to touch behind you. Let's give ourselves lots of room in between the knees. Reach your hands as far away from your body as possible, and then let everything melt. Let your elbows melt. Let the armpits fall towards the floor, taking a few steady breaths here before we make our way all the way up into a tabletop. In the tabletop position, let's take one step forward with our hands. Sink the hips down to the floor, come into a baby cobra or a sphinx pose. So completely up to you. You can bring your elbows down or you can stay on your hands. Let's look up and then take turns looking over the opposite shoulder. Inhale, chin up, center. Exhale, look over your shoulders. Maybe let's roll the neck in different directions, maybe tilting the ear from right shoulder to left shoulder. Let's push ourselves up, keeping the hips over the knees. Let's walk the hands all the way out in front of us. Option here to go back down into a child's pose. Also option to bend your elbows and let your forehead rest on your arms. And again, melting those armpits towards the floor, lifting that tailbone nice and high. Staying connected to the breath. Let's look up and walk our hands all the way over to the right side. So maybe our hands come to the edge of the mat or outside the mat onto the floor, breathing into that side, the left side of our body where we're feeling that stretch. Looking up, crisscross, walking the hands all the way over to the left, breathing into the right side of the body, the hip, the ribs, the armpit, the shoulder, anywhere that we're feeling that stretch. And staying connected to the breath, equal inhales and exhales. Walking the hands back into a tabletop position, let's take some cats and some cows. Inhale, arching the spine, dropping the belly towards the floor, pinching the shoulder blades together. And exhale, rolling the pelvis forward, pushing the ground away, pulling the shoulders away from each other. And keep it going at your own pace, at your own breath. Let's start to roll the spine like a skipping rope. Trying to get into every single corner, every single vertebrae, every single part of your spine. You can change directions, getting the shoulders involved. You can get the head involved. You can start to roll the head. If it feels better to just stick with the cats and the cows today, that's also perfect. Let's kick that right leg back and then drop the heel into a warrior stance. Let's stack the shoulders, stack the hips on top of each other, open up into a gate. You can, if you want to, swing your arms in circles. You can keep reaching up. You can keep reaching over and enjoying that opening on the entire side of the body. Coming back to tabletop, inhale, look up, and exhale, round, look down. Now we'll step the opposite leg back and open ourselves up into a gate on the opposite side. You can reach that top arm all the way up and over. You can take circles with the arms. You can reach up and stack the shoulders and the hands on top of each other. Completely up to you, just enjoying that opening on the side body. Maybe holding it here for a breath or two, enjoying that opening on the side body. Come back to tabletop, inhale and exhale, round look down. Let's grab our blocks or books or anything that we have handy. Let's lift the hips nice and high, come into our downward dog, pedaling out our feet. Whatever knee is bent, you can drop that hip towards the floor. Whatever leg is straight, you can stack that hip up towards the sky. Let's take an inhale, come onto our tippy toes, come forward into a plank, and exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, tippy toes, exhale, downward dog, pedaling out the feet again. Wagging our tail behind us. A few last wiggles and squiggles. Let's step forward into our forward fold, making sure that the toes are really firmly planted on the mat before we take our hands off the floor. You can of course leave your hands on the floor if you want to pedal out your knees here, like what we were doing in our dog, keeping the heels on the floor but just moving the knees and the hips. You can take your hands off the floor, grabbing your elbows, letting your head go heavy, swaying from side to side. Basically just let yourself explore this forward fold and seeing what feels good for your body today. Maybe just holding our elbows and holding it still might feel really good. I'm gonna pop my blocks up on the highest setting. I'm gonna bend my left knee and I'm gonna drive that right hip all the way back. Leave the left hand on the block. Right hand all the way up and over. Option to grab the top of your thigh. You can leave that right hand stacked up towards the sky if you want. Keep driving that left knee forward and keep pulling the right hip back. Reaching that right arm all the way over, front crawl, back to the block. Pedaling out the knees again, twisting the hips, wagging the tail behind you. Leave the right knee bent, straighten the left leg, drive the left hip back, reach the left arm all the way up, wrap it around your lower back. You can keep that left hand reaching up. Left hand all the way up, over your head, back to the block. This is probably one of my favorite ways to open up the entire back of my legs, especially after a heavy gym session if my lower body or my back is sore. So I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to walk my feet all the way back into a downward dog, pedaling out the knees again, pushing the heel of the hand into the mat. Let's kick that right leg back. Bring the knee into the chest, step that right foot forward, grab your blocks, put them underneath the shoulders, and let's go from a low lizardy lunge back into a half split. Just a few times, rocking that knee forward, shifting the hips back, reaching that right arm all the way up, reaching it back over that left leg. Option to stay here with your arm reaching up or grab your foot. This is a really good quad opener, hip opener. We can let go of our foot whenever we feel ready to. Let's sink back into a half split again. Holding it, you can bend your elbows and go forward if you want. You don't have to. This is already enough of a stretch as it is without leaning forward. Let's step that right foot back into a tabletop, rolling the spine again. Pretend that you are hula hooping. Curling the toes under, lifting back up into a downward dog, pedaling out the knees again. Let's extend that left leg all the way up and back, knee into chest, step it forward, drop that back knee. Come forward into a lizardy lunge, backwards into a half split, doing this a few times, rocking the hips forward, rocking the hips back, bending the knee forward, straightening the knee, coming back. Leaving the right arm down, reaching the left arm up, option to keep your arm up, option to keep your arm wrapped around your lower back, option to grab your foot. And trying to, if we can, enjoy the sensations in the front of that right leg, the hip, the psoas, the quads, anything that needs a good stretch. Gently letting go of that foot, reaching that left arm all the way up and back to the block. Let's sink back to our half split. You can walk your blocks back so that they are somewhere underneath your shoulders for extra support, and feel free to move and adjust your feet or your position as much as possible until you get to a place where you feel like you could just breathe here a few times before we make our way back to our tabletop to roll our spine like a skipping rope, or to pretend that we're hula hooping, slithering from side to side, rolling up and down like a cat-cow. Let's extend that right leg back. Let's bend that right knee in between the hands and sink that left leg back. You can stay in your pigeon, or you can rock onto the right side of your bum cheek, the right side of your leg, and come into a stag. So completely up to you what position feels better, your full pigeon or your stag with the back leg bent. Trying to melt here and soften, staying connected to the breath and slowing down the breath. Let's make our way back onto our hands, sink that knee back into tabletop, roll the spine again. Straighten that left leg back behind you, bend the knee, feed it through your hands. Option to stay in pigeon, option to rock into stag. Coming down to your elbows, or you can bring your hands all the way flat to the floor, reaching your arms up in front of your head. You can bring your forehead down to a block or down to a pillow. Letting yourself melt here, breathing into the hip space on both sides, on your left side and your right side. Bringing our hands back down to the floor, pushing ourselves back into a child's pose, bringing the toes together, letting ourselves completely melt. And this is where we are going to end practice. Hopefully your muscles feel a little bit looser, not as tight and not as stiff. I will see you again for another class very soon.